Hello. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Looks like we ran through some technical difficulties, so I got everything set up. Looks like the camera's not going to work today, so let's just go without that. But we do have the mic working, and we do have video working. We have both the we're going to be doing level design today, so we have the capture up, and obviously we have the stream and a combo. So we're going to be doing all that. Just to start, we already got a comment asking about affine texture warping, so if you really want to just take a look, here it is. Beautiful. It's not something I wrote myself. Obviously, there is resources online and code on how to implement it into Unreal Engine. So I kind of just followed that, integrated it into my own suite, I guess, of Bloodborne PSX, or of PSX features that this game functions off of. Visually, of course. So, where were we? Right, so we are back. So we're doing the Dark House today, and gosh, it's a shame the webcam just doesn't work. Oh well. So, yeah, just to get started. Yeah, okay, so here's my stream, but we have it in the corner. So I just wanted to make sure everything's set up correctly. But, so here's the game capture. So we are doing the Dark House, and we're going to be extending it. This will be another level that is extended, like the sewers. So, this is very simple. The Dark House is very small, and we're going to make it larger. And I'll explain that in a little more detail in a second. But most of the interior assets are already created as a combination of Josefa's Clinic and the Hunter's Workshop. Both use similar assets. I'm going to combine all those to make the Dark House, and obviously make it dark, right? That's the only difference. Again, like the pile of, these assets here are all visible in the Josefa's Clinic. You can see vials and stuff in here, which I'm assuming is just like a normal random house. So, it makes sense. They reuse assets, so can we. So we are going to do that. So let's get started. Game capture audio too high. That's my screen. Whoops. Let me just mute it. Actually, we don't need that. Yeah. So this is where we are to start. Let's actually just to make this. We don't have to run past the wolves every time. The werewolves. Alrighty. So yeah, so this is the entrance to the Dark House. This will also be, the shortcut around the Dark House. You go in here, excuse me. It'll be a shorter staircase, but go in here, and then we'll begin a level transition. Now, of course, one staple of Bloodborne that I want to keep is the trapping these guys, these friendos. We're gonna do it. Oh shoot. Is getting them trapped in this doorway here. But this is going to be a loading transition, so this won't be possible. Because as soon as you go through the door, it will unload the level and, of course, all the enemies, and it will load a new area. But I still want to keep it, so I have an idea in my head. And we're going to see if it works. So... Oh, shoot, I need to set up... Hold on. I forgot to set up something very important, which is the follow... What's that thing called? So this person just followed thing. And it doesn't look like I have it... I don't know how to quickly add that through Streamlabs, unfortunately. So I guess we're going to be working without it, which is a shame. I would really like to get that set up. I'd like to do call outs, but oh well. So let's keep going. So we have these werewolves stuck there. So we're gonna do something similar. Um, just to test to make sure it works. I'm 90% sure it works. It's the same kind of problem, but so right here, the green is the navigation path. So just to make sure I make it tiny enough for the werewolf to think they can fit through the doorway, but their capsules will be too wide to fit into the doorway. Right, so we'll make sure this is an actual doorway. Not too sure, but let's get their attention. Hello. There we go. Perfect. So this is, I mean, when we need a wall here, we can see the underside of the wall. But yeah, so this is the same thing, right? It'll just be further up the staircase instead of in the actual house doorway. Also out of blood vials, so I should fix that. But yeah, so let's make that an actual doorway. Eh. So put a door, we'll just we'll make it an open door. A single frame door. It seems it fits much, a bit much for just like a single archway. Do double. Let me also just group all this together. Yeah, so just to explain what I'm planning on doing, we'll see how far we get with the stream. But what I plan on doing is let's group all this. It's very strange. This doorway is not symmetrical. The gap between these two. But what I'm planning on doing is right. So for the sewers, I added new content. Right, there's a new area in the sewers, and it's new. And what I did was it's too small. What I did was how do I explain this? So there is a specific path through the sewers. You can come in. I'm gesturing like you can see, like you can see through the camera. But there are two entrances into the sewers, and they meet up at a junction, and then you go down a straight path. The junction has like the trap with all the zombies that throw up on you. You go through there, and then you go down the main path where there's more zombies and the giant pig, of course, and that's the entirety of the sewers. You crawl out of the sewers, you climb up the ladder, either ladder, and that's the sewer level. So what I did was put a gate at the junction, and it's locked with a sewer key, so you have to go through a whole extra area to find the sewer key, then circle back and open the gate. That is kind of like that is one method of adding content to the game, or like adding content to the game. So what I want to do some next time is a little more. What I want to do for the dark house is a little more taking away. I don't know. This is really badly phrasing it, but like rebranding existing content as a new area instead of more of an old area. So to go directly into just capture card. So this is the dark house, right? The issue is this is like 1% of Central Yharnam. It's one room with like a loft or whatever you call that, the balcony. There's an official word for that, but who cares? But that's it. So what I plan on doing is converting this area. So this will be converted into dark house. And another dark house room, and then the exit door will be here. Right, and then this will be like a little front yard, and then the stairs go down. So there will be a door here. This will also be dark house. This will be like a roof you fall through. And then down here, we'll go the other way to avoid a fight. So all this will still be house assets, same as here. You'll fight those two. So this will be a big room, and let's just take these out right now. Hello. Oof, bit out of practice. There we go. Okay, so this will all be dark house, a big open room where you fight the two trolls. This will probably be a balcony right here, like where this juts out, this fence, so you can go out here and like see the outside. And this elevator will be a part of the dark house. And then, so we're kind of like taking like 95% of the Bloodborne PSX's Central Yharnam. So we're taking a couple of percentages away from Central Yharnam and feeding it into the Dark House. But also, this door, which is now inside the Dark House, will be open, and there will be new content in here, a room or two. I don't think it'll be as extensive as the deep sewers, right? So that's the plan. I don't think we'll get to all that done today. But there's a new idea for a air quotes new enemy type through this door. I might put the door here actually, because it can make a better spot right in the middle of the room instead of right next to another entrance. And then yeah, all of this will be dark house. So either the dark house will end here, or the dark house will end here, and this gate will actually be a building like an entrance doorway. I'm not sure. I'll probably keep this a gate. And then yeah, and then we'll loop back, and then you'll get your classic FromSoft like, oh my gosh, this shortcut, I recognize this area moment. Still, hopefully, we'll see. So yeah, that is what I plan on doing for the Dark House. The extra content through the door that is currently locked will be a library. Libraries are good for spooky levels because it's a maze that you can lay out in any way you want. Very easy to create. It's a big empty room with it's a maze. You can make a maze very easily. And you can hide enemies around corners. What a stretch goal, I guess, is to actually be able to read the books, and that'll be the you can read the books in the library, and that will be where all the item descriptions are, because obviously there's no item descriptions in the loading screen of Bloodborne PSX, so I feel like either there's no item descriptions at all, or they're in the Dark House library. And hey, let's say you read all the books, it'll give you insight or something. Who knows? That would be fun. Oh, excuse me. Heliquin says that sounds like a really good idea. I like it. Thank you. I'm really disappointed. I can't figure out how to add the stream follower notification. It's just not listed in Streamlabs. Like I feel like I'm missing. I'm not sure. Spooky books. Oh, Hackatsy. Hello. Hi, Hackatsy. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Like I said, I doubt we'll be doing all of it today, but let's get started. Let me get back to the stream. We'll split it both ways. But yeah, so let's get started. So first off, what I want to do is, like I said, the loading screen will be here, so we can't choose the werewolves here. So I'm going to convert this to be a werewolf cheese location. So either we make a doorway, or we clog this area with stuff. If we clog it with stuff, people will not. It'll be less common that players will run through this because it will just look like part of the scenery. But if you make it an empty doorway, it will grab players' attention, and this is actually where the rest of the game is. Well, this entrance and this entrance. Both of these entrances lead to the rest of the game. And this one, actually. All of them do. Isn't that neat? It's almost like Bloodborne has good level design or something. So yeah, I said this was a bit too extra, but it is also the easiest implementation. So we'll do that. We will not put a doorway here. I'll put an open door. Let's do that. Then we will just extend these up. So it makes a little more sense. Okay, and then we will top this off somehow. Let's get wood beam. Not that wood beam, this wood beam. The superior wood beam. Superior. The other wood beam is for walking on because it's wider, but I just don't like how the texture looks. And I wish I just used this texture to stunt. But oh well. Okay, let's do stone. It's sideways, but it'll do. I would say that is acceptable. Word Star says hello. Hello, everybody. All right, so let's test this out. Yeah, we'll put an open door. A door is already open, but you could close it if you want. So that'll be single. And let's have it open the other way. Should be lining this up correctly, but I'm not. The next gen beam, this one is a too high quality of a beam. Too next gen. This looks more. These graphics are more like a PS2 game. Let's be honest, chat. Okay, so but it'll be open. So this will get your attention. You're walking down and you see an open door. You're gonna be like, "Oh golly, let's go in there. Let's see what's in there." And it'll be a dark house. It'll be so spooky. Okay, Boron IMO, Boronimo says, "Hi, how's everyone today? I'm doing good. Bit of a rough start for the stream, and the camera isn't working, but at least my temperature is good, and I got noise canceling, so all my AC and my other two fans that are keeping me cool are not, hopefully, not interrupting too much with the stream. Um, so yeah, so I think that's a pretty good invitation. We won't have beam rendering until at least the Dreamcast. But yeah, so it's a wall. This isn't the entrance of the house. It's like a fake entrance. It's a little weird, but we'll make it work. Hello. You have terrible eyesight. Are you a genome soldier? Okay. So it looks like the navigation path is not complete. It's not. So as you can see, the werewolf goes, "Oh, well, they're out of reach, so we're going to run away." And that's not good. We want them to think they can fit through, but not actually fit through so we could cheese them. So that's not good. And I think it's because the door has... Delete this will complete, it won't. Okay, so that's easy. We'll just fake it. So we're going to turn collision for the archway to be false for pawn. And no, we're gonna do can ever affect navigation false. So we'll just complete now. But then this will cause go to the wireframe. It completes here well. So the werewolf might just be running into this wall instead of the doorway. So we're gonna have nav modifier volumes, which I believe will be a null area. So this is not a collision volume. It just affects navigation. So we can kind of fine tune it like this. So there we go. So if we put this here, it still kind of works. So as long as it's complete, the AI will think that it'll be able to fit through. So let's get their attention. And now they think they can get to us. So this is the kind of cheese we want. Zistisen he says, I love how the PS4 graphics and how it renders darkness makes everything more scary. I agree. So yeah, this is perfect. In fact, are they still chilling? No, they left on the PS4 version, but they were there at one point, I promise. Whoops. I'm running to the wall now. Okay. But yeah, so this is good. Making cheese, standard, classic cheese tactic. And he killed me anyways. But I like that. So to continue, yeah, let's actually get started on the Dark House zone. So luckily we have not this exact asset, but a very similar asset, which is this door frame. And there is no door here. Also, I think the staircase is one too long. So we're just going to delete those. But we'll see if we can cheese in here. That feels about right. That feels right. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So it won't be perfect. It's not going to be one-to-one. Like, even like in PS1 graphics, I am a little bit interpretive of how I make the levels look. It's mostly just about feeling right, not looking like doing it side by side and it's perfect. I'm not that much of a perfectionist. I do want this game to eventually come out at some point. So, yeah, so it's kind of just like matching the layout and the textures are vaguely similar. With the exception of intentionally making them different, like I said with the Dark House, converting some existing Bloodborne areas into the same layout but with different assets. So this is very simple. We don't have this facade. I actually did some exact facade recreation. Not facade, but like a wall. So this will be not arch 4. First off, it's sideways, so let's fix that. But let's see. Here we go. Brick wall 2. And this will be a mirror, because it's only half a texture in mirror vertical. So that's close enough, I would say. And it's pretty lengthy. And also, as you can see, we have a house below us. So this origin is wrong, but luckily it still snaps to grid, so I'm not too fussed about it. But yeah, there's also a house down here, so we'll do that. It's actually directly below us. We'll do that. Then okay, so let's go right there. So we have our house. I wish From Software recognized your work today. This is an amazing project, as this stands in. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just happy I haven't been shut down yet. Okay, so we also got to do this outer wall. Never got completed. So I will just take this. In fact, I think I can just copy the whole thing, the whole group of this wall. Oh, yeah, okay. Because it has the Vertex lighting data on it, the Vertex painted. So it should line up perfectly if I modeled this bridge correctly. It does. It's nice when everything just lines up correctly like that. It's some Z fighting, but it should be okay. Hopefully. That seems good. Okay. And then we do the other side, which I don't think I ever did. Yeah, I never finished these walls. So I feel like if you're playing the game and you stand right here and look over here, you'll just see incomplete geometry. I should probably clean that up now, but we got more entertaining stuff to do, like making a whole new level from scratch. So let's focus on that instead. That's totally not going to work. Okay. Um. Yeah. Okay. So we have the stair edges. Cool. And then these stair edges. Yeah, stairs are always a pain with not the stairs themselves, but like the walls on the edge of the stairs, especially for if you're doing modular assets like I am. It would have been, it would have been smarter if I just 1 second. Made the entire staircase a single piece. However, it would make modifying the length of the stairs to be more difficult. Stairs is the whole thing. Stairs is the whole thing. Getting stairs to be integrated effortlessly or as easy as possible in a game in terms of level design was always difficult. And this is probably the most difficult way of doing it. But we're stuck with it for now. I can't change it now. Like we're locked in, which I'm cool with. That's the thing. Is like you'll win some, you'll lose some. There are some things in this project that I wish I did differently at the start, and it's too late to change without, spending like a month restructuring like the entire game now that most of the levels and assets and code and stuff are finished. And then there are some things that I'm really happy that I did that I will probably do in all future projects. So like you can't win them all, especially as someone who is still learning. I'm not like a seasoned developer or anything. I'm still learning. So um, I'll desaturate. It looks better. Does it look better? Nice. Hmm. I'll keep it with color. But this is a generic wall. We'll make it dark. And then I think this just continues down. Yeah, totally does. I don't have a chimney asset. I should probably make one of those eventually. Totally lost what I was talking about. Yeah, but your game's not going to be perfect. I think accepting that is the first big step. Into instead of like redoing your code base 4 times, because you want your game to be perfect, is a trap, I would say. Um, that leads to a lot of burnout and projects taking 5 years to release. I've talked about this in my previous streams. But yeah, so it's good to just live with what you got. I don't think I have a good stone trim. I think I have a good asset to cover this. This'll do. Well, this archway is not lined up with the grid, which is annoying, but we'll make it work. If we look to the left, that's just a corner, right? Okay. We can actually just they have like stone beams here, so we're just gonna do the same thing. We can use our stone beam from before, this one, and we can just convert this. We can use this to our annoying flicker. Hold on. We're gonna crash. We got a crash. All right, let's restart. We'll see how many crashes. I should have a crash counter. We'll see how many we get. All right, so where were we? We were in Central Yharnam, Great Bridge Exterior. Let's try it again. Belugu, how's it? Says, how's it hanging? It's hanging good. Like I said, rough start to the stream, but we're getting into the swing of things. Right. Okay, so anyways, where were we? We were getting, we're getting our beams to hide the fact that we can't seamlessly merge all this geometry together because the doorway is not a standard size. So we're just going to do this. And I guess call it a day. Okay, and then yeah, so would that be okay? Am I allowed to do that? I feel like, I mean, this is what level design is. It's just coming up with weird ways to make video game levels at least appear to make sense on the surface, right? Even though like actually they make no hecking sense. Is it sorry, WordStar asked, is it difficult to learn what you're doing? Yes, it is. There's really no way around that. But you just gotta keep at it. And I think the most important thing I learned was just to that's about I found a good way of phrasing it. But the most important thing I learned is to just don't spend 5 years making a magnum opus and just make a bunch of janky games and you'll get better with each release. Um, that is my wisdom. View your releases as a a discography, I guess, with each disc getting better than the previous one, instead of trying to come out with one disc that is the best disc in the world. Because I'll let you know that one disc is not going to be the best disc in the world, and you just spent 5 years on it. Take it from me. I say, looking into the camera like you can see it, like you can see me. So I would like to be able to cheese as well, but not happening. Would. And actually, let's extend this a little bit. This wall is paper thin right now, so let us do that too. And let's see if we can. How does this look if we attach it to the beam? I don't know if the UVs are going to look correct. You know what? I'd be okay with shipping with this NGL. Oh, that's ugly though. That is ugly. Will anyone notice / care? That's the real question. I don't think they will. Mossy Stone says, yeah, I do that. Look right at the camera and it's not even on. Yeah, absolutely. That looks bad. Also, there is a collision volume there. So let's take a look. Where's your collision volume? I don't see any collision. Oh, it's not tall enough. Is the hunter bonking their head on the? I need to move that spawn point. Is the hunter bonking their head on the top of the doorway? No way! That door is totally tall enough. What am I hitting? Okay, I'm seeing a collision volume. Yeah, what is this? This collision is just wrong? This collision is just wrong. What the heck? Who did this? See, that's the problem with solo projects is you have no one to blame but yourself. I must have edited the model. That doesn't seem right though. But who cares? Okay. That's better looking, I think. Although, what is that little notch in the ground? Who are you? Oh, you're the house commotion. Okay. Who will just lower you a tiny bit, that'll fix it. Okay. Cool. Alrighty, cakes. Okay, that is bothering me. Let's put this forward a little bit and 90 degrees this way. Forward, down, save all. Okay. So you can see it's the same texture, that one and this one, except it's twice as big, so they look the same size. And then you get closer and it's twice as big. I don't know if I like that, but we're gonna stick with it. Cafe Fonset says, how many unique assets for levels do you have by now? Yeah, so they're all organized. As you can see in the, let's do full screen, stream. As you can see here, we got Yharnam, we got sewers, ladder for some reason, Hunter's Dream, and the clinic. They do mix and match. There are some things in the sewers that are used in Yharnam. There are some things in Yharnam that are used in the sewers. More the latter than the former, but anyways, the biggest one is Yharnam, obviously. That's like 95% of BBPSX, right? So 55 items. There are a couple of small things like parts of the stairs. You know, this thing, which is just the middle part of this, that kind of stuff. There's also some unique things like the pyre and the pyre werewolf. That's just for the bonfire, right? I use the pyre. This is good to just like stick up out of the water in the sewers because it has like the broken edges and stuff. There is some bad triangles there, so fix that. Another lamppost and just the lamppost top. So there are some things, generic houses, so I can just stamp them down. But yeah, it's a lot of platforms, a lot of circle platforms. But for Central Yharnam, 55 of the two carriages. I don't usually watch game streams, but it's nice to hear the what is that. It's nice to hear that what is that appears to be universal when it comes to these kind of projects. Absolutely. Happens once every session, I would probably say. Yeah, so 55 for Yharnam. Sewers is mostly just like the kit for like the archway and stuff. You got this way, we got the three-way arch. Right, we got the sewer bridge is a big one. But yeah, and just like generic stuff like this and some like unique corner things, so you can do a 45 degree with a bevel. And a short version. Kathy says, impressive kit. Do you think you'll have all you need, or do you still need to make new assets? Good question. I basically have all I need, with a few exceptions that I will model when they come up. Like, for example, this corner. I would never have been able to predict this, that I would need this and make it beforehand. I just kind of came across it. It technically starts here. You don't see all that texture on the bottom, but because there's water below it and dirt and stuff. But anyways, or water above it and dirt and stuff, I should say. But yeah, most of it's done. Now that the sewers are finished, one thing I'm gonna need is a library shelf, but we already have textures for books and within a Hunter's Dream. One of the textures, we already have a book pile texture, right? We'll look at it at a smaller resolution, so it'll actually you'll be able to interpret it. There you go. So it's a pile of books. So we're probably gonna combine this texture with my shelf, which already has some books in it, but we're going to convert it into be a longer shelf with nothing but books instead of books and vials. So that'll be a new asset, kind of. But yeah, so nice marine texture. But yeah, most of it's done with a few exceptions. But let us continue. So the top is a fancy roof. This kind of stuff is a bit too fancy for. I mean, this is all way too fancy. You would never even look up there for Bloodborne PSX because you can't control the yaw. So we will just make something way more simple than that. Mossy Stone 48 says, ignore me, I'm being immature. We will proceed to do that. So we have, so there's also a lot of textures and materials that don't have a static mesh assigned to it because all the details of the texture, right? So most of these arches and stuff, that's the wrong one. Some of them are mirrored, some of them aren't. Wall. Excuse me, right? All this stuff. But what I'm looking for, and I can't find, here we go, is a roof. So, excuse me. So we're going to make a much more simple roof. And to start, we need to line this up correctly. That'll be 0.9, I believe. Yeah, okay, cool. And then we'll just do it at 60. Like that. Like that reads as a house. We'll do a 50-degree. The roofs of Yharnam are pretty steep Yharnam roofs. So that works. That's good. Perfect. And I don't think you'll ever be able to see around the corner, so I probably don't even need. Oh no, you will. If obviously if you go like, oops, go over here, you can see it. Yeah, you can see the wall there. Okay. Kathy says tile sheet. Would a tile sheet be better? Depends. If it's a tile sheet, I'd have to set up different UVs for every different tile, right? Like, you mean like a massive tile sheet. So that means that every single material would need a unique static mesh that is just a flat plane. Or you'd have to set up an extremely advanced material to shift the texture around. And that's just too complicated for me. And that might not even save any efficiency in terms of setting it up in terms of level in when it comes to level design. Right. So it's just a different solution that's not better or worse, in my opinion, of course. And this is the solution that I ended up using. Trim? Not stone trim. We need to use the fancy trim. Shadow Man Remastered does it same as you. Yeah. Hold on. Ugh, can you just work? There we go. Okay. It's 2.8, right? Okay, so it'll be squished a little bit. Yeah, you can kind of tell. Don't care enough. No need. No point being a perfectionist. Just wastes time. At least for a project like this, anyways. There are some games that are sold off of being perfect, which I feel like is a bad. It's a bad, but yeah. There are games that are sold on their graphics, right? And how like painstakingly detailed their graphics are, and that's like obviously I want this game to look good within its aesthetic, but I'm not a perfectionist at all. I'm fascinated as of why you fit before and now you don't. Oh, duh. Okay, so you're 0.8. Okay, I'll say it looks good. Obviously we need to close this gap. But do we though? We can just do that. That's a decent exterior. And then we got our like gap closer, our triangle. We have a triangle. What's ceiling arch? No, ceiling arch window. Shoot. There we go. And yeah, so this will be very gross. The polygons aren't dense enough, but this is usually for mostly out of view stuff, things you don't really pay attention to. So the affine texture mapping is really bad, especially if you make it this large. And the pixel density, texel density, whatever you call it. But this is the only time you'd see it, right? And it's killing me. Try that again. Um, so yeah, this would be the only time you'd see it right here. So it's not front and center. It's kind of just a formality to close off your meshes. Like you go down here and you look to the left, so you can see this wall here. But it's not really mandatory, I would say. No, I mean it is mandatory, but it's not the focus at the level, right? Um, so I'm less stressed about it. And I should fade all that to black. Anyways, so this is pretty decent. I guess we can extend this one or two more tiles. And then we'll close this off too. So it'll be the same thing. Should be 3 long. Okay, we can. Should be 0.7. And then we'll just choose a different wall that won't look as weird when it's squished. Squid wall. There we go. So that looks pretty natural. I like this. This looks pretty good. These two textures blend together. Is your skybox a cube or a sphere? Do you have any insight how PS Fun usually handles skybox with remote resolution? I did. It's a sphere. The skybox was made years ago, so I don't have the information just on the top of my head. Um, but yeah. Yeah, the skybox is one of the few assets from the 2017 version. The texture, these buildings here were added since in 2021. But yes, the skybox itself, the sky sphere, I guess, excuse me, was from the 2017 version. It doesn't just line up. It fascinating. No one will notice that. I guess you all will notice this, but whatever. That's pretty good. With that said, should I make this a door? Because this is a level transition, so we might want this to be a door. Um, Auto exit. I don't know if it'll look good in on the stairs, but let's take a look. The hands won't line up. Okay, so you're clipping through the ground for one. Hmm. So we might need this to be a done on a flat surface. So we might inset. I feel like we're going too far from the original design then. So instead of doing that, I will just make it open, like the original, and just put a loading volume here. Inset only the door, maybe. Yeah, potentially. But also, it would be easier to just do it the other way. And that's usually what inspires my decisions. If you just have it be a just fade to black load zone instead of a door load zone. Um, well, so here's our beautiful level loader. Yeah, exactly. Cappy says no, doors are more accurate anyways. Yeah, so it's like there is a solution that would require more work, but like if you take a step back from that and just look at it as take a step back from the work involved, is it better or is it just different? Slash, is it less or more accurate in terms of demaster, right? Um, and if it isn't, then do it the easy way. This is not the right texture. Um, you know what? We'll just make this blackout. This is not the actual level. This is just the dark, the blacked out room you run into while it fades to black. The camera will never be in here, right? So go look. Z says, I will know forever. Yeah. 10 years from now, we're playing this and thinking back and going like, remember that squished window? Cool. So that's fine. And of course, it loads the dev room because that's what it defaults to. Um, so yeah, it's time to light this. I usually wait. Yeah, so we were adding to a level that already has a lighting pass on it. Um, so this is going to be a little weird when it comes to adding content like this because you kind of need to match the lighting that's already been painted, which is annoying, but we're going to make it work. I'm really disappointed the camera isn't working. Oh well, no point fretting over it. Okay, painstakingly select. Okay, cool. That's everything, right? Turn off navigation. And why not? Let's put this here too. And sprites. These as well. Okay. Let's get the painting. Nothing extreme. Although a really good strategy that I was taught is to for painting lighting, you make it all dark and then you paint the color back in. And I tend to do 0.75 to be the brightest because the acids are a bit bright. And I like going and adding brighter areas as well in post. So the default is like 0.75 with an opportunity to go brighter if we want to, right? So there you go, pretty good. Got some nice darkness over here. And then it just fades to, oh, and then we got to do not 0.1. My blacks are not 100% dark. I do, sorry, 10% darkness. But we do need to get to 100% if we're going to have this fade to nothingness, because we cannot afford to do an entire modeled world, because it is a PS1 game, not a PS4 game. So you just, paint along the bottom here. And we'll do a little equalizer here. There we go. Decent enough. Vertex painting. Kathy, would I pronounce that Kathy? Kathy is asking if Vertex painting is built-in feature or built-in. Sorry, is a built-in feature of Unreal Engine 4 that I created? It's a built-in feature. However, there is. This is one of the packs I got for Vertex lighting. It's a material trick, not actual Vertex lighting. But the static right here. So this is Vertex lighting. And it's the same thing. It's a function that I bought off the store. I think I got it on Itch.io maybe. But yeah, specifically for Vertex lighting that you integrate into your parent material, and will work as expected. That's nice. It's a little, I wouldn't say it's hacky, but you do need to drop a manager down as well. Just Von today says, "Hey Lily, love seeing your updates on Twitter. It's the first time I've jumped into one of your streams. Super enjoyable to watch and have in the background while working on other stuff. Keep the good work." Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really wish I had my camera on. I'm not going to be stopped complaining about that. Heartstrings is here. It says, "Can't subscribe to my streams." Probably for the best, because I don't have the stream notification pop-up thingy set up, and I can't figure it out, and I don't want to spend too much time getting it set up live. Nor do I want to have my Streamlabs window up on stream, because I might accidentally share something that I shouldn't. But okay, so this is the entrance to the dark house. Thank you for the help, Heartstrings is offering to help. But yeah, we'll get it. I'm sure I can get it figured out. I just don't want to waste time. Yeah, so now we need to darken the darken the polygon that you run around on. So this kind of all just fades to black, because you never go in for it, right? So that's pretty good. It's also a dark house, so I mean, all the outdoor loading levels look like this already. So it's not like this is super unique to the dark house, but this is the one time it does make sense. Is to have it fade out like that, because the house is actually dark, so it actually looks like that on the inside. Hashi Wolf 3 says, "Suh, hello." There we go. And then you just run into the darkness, fades out, fades in, and we're in the wrong level because the correct level has not been made yet. So let's do that. Kathy likes it. Kathy says, "Fading to the wood floor is the black satisfying when it," and is now asking how does it look when you carry a torch. The torch does override hand painted Vertex lighting, so it will light everything up, but hopefully just the fade out masks it. Yeah, you can see the walls. So let's put some wall textures in there. Just because. Everyone who's dead anyways. I do not have this texture specifically for Bloodborne PSX. I don't want to. I mean, maybe I'll go back and add that texture in later, but we'll do the existing texture that we know. This fence. I don't think we'll ever see that. Unless you're intentionally trying to break the game by clipping the camera through the wall. And by that point, it's like, sure, whatever. You've now seen a broken part of the game because you're intentionally trying to peek the camera around corners and see what it shouldn't be. So hooray, you now see a broken part of it. But this would be a lot of clinic material. This would be Hunter's Dream. I believe we have some decent walls here. Oh, the walls are unique assets. We'll just use cement. Cement doesn't look good. Okay, yeah, we have unique walls because they have unique textures that need to be tiled. So they need to have a unique mesh for this wall. So let's just put this here. And then point 1, switch. Okay, so let's see that. Okay, so you look in, you can see the wall. I think having the wall there is better than just having it be pitch black. And then, of course, if you have the torch and you're right next to the edge, you can see the wall here. Over here, it's. I really should fix that. That's a bit too far. If it was poking out like by like a couple inches, I wouldn't be too fussed about it. But let's just do that. Yeah, this stuff is really important to making the world feel connected, because it's not actually connected like it is in Bloodborne. So like you see this, and then you go in, it loads a whole new level with the same assets in the same spot, but the lighting's different. But yeah, so that's okay. So if you look super far, you'll see it. Once again, not too fussed about that, but like just peeking in like this. It's good to see the assets. Run in, we'll fade out. Okay, so why not? Cool. All right, so now that we finally finished the outside, we can do the interior now. Can you skew the fence so the spokes stand up straight? You know what? This is actually old. I have an asset. Basically, I can't without editing the model, which I would need to do externally. But this was made a while ago, and I have since done that. So here we go. Thank you for reminding me to put the correct one in. Getting some polling problems there. Although this looks a bit, so it's 1.5. So I'm not sure if it'll work. I really don't want to make a 1.5 one, a middle one. Might also be able to jump this. Also really small. Okay, if we just scale it up uniformly, it should be okay. That works, kind of. Good enough. Yeah, that totally works. Thank you for reminding me about that. It's hard keeping all that on forefront of your mind, remembering all the assets. This will be your favorite level at exit, Kathy says. Okay, so now that we're finally done, we can finally get started with what I promised, which is making a new level. So we go to test, we go to the template, which has all this initial stuff and set up. We're going to do MP. The dark house is actually going to be a new level. It's not going to be a subset of Central Yharnam. It's going to have a title and everything because we're going to extend it. And me and Nino, who helps out with the game, excuse me, we're going to name it the Derelict Estate. That's what we're going to call it. We can change it, of course, but the files will be called Derelict Estate. And what do they call this? The loft? Like this area? Hold on. Like, would you call this room, like if this was a level, you'd call it a loft, right? Is that what a loft is? I don't really know the fancy words. Sorry, I wanted to look at the decal, watching it shift around on the door. These graphics suck, 0 out of 10. But yeah, I'll just call it a loft for now. No, we shouldn't call it a loft because the level will be bigger than that one room. But we'll just call it because it'll probably be everything I described except for the downstairs. That'll probably all be a single level. A single room would be a bit much. Or a bit too little, I would say. So that is correct in that it's a loft, but it won't be the name of the level. A super loft, yeah. Let's call it first floor. And then downstairs will be the second floor. Or that'll be the basement. It'll be the library. Oh no, we'll just call it first floor. That's fine. This will never be player facing, so this is just for me, anyways. But yeah, so let us do the level loading, level loader entrance IDs. Okay, so we have entrance ID C, B, entrance ID A, and then load entrance ID 1. And sorry, I'm connecting up the level loaders. It's a unique something unique that I set up. You use it's kind of like Ocarina of Time, but less advanced. If you know how Ocarina of Time handles level loading, where it uses like a code to figure out what door you're going to enter. Well, first off, what level to load, what door you're going to enter from, and if you're a child or an adult. And that code is generated on runtime as you exit, partially. So that's how wrong warping works in speedruns, where you exit through a door and end up at the end of the game, right? But we are loading. Oh my gosh, here we are. Bridge exterior. Okay, so we're going to go back to bridge exterior, and let's make sure that everything has been set up correctly. The loading stuff. So, are you going to play or are you going to crash? Do one or the other. Don't waste my time. Okay, so we're going to go through. Now we're inside our brand new level that hasn't built yet, and then if we leave, now we're outside. That's perfect. Okay, so let's get to building the rest of the level now. First off, we'll never see the exterior, so we're not going to need a skybox. Derelict Estate. Perfect immersion. Yeah, so let's just make this black. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, so to start, let's just copy the assets that we have. And then just paste them. Once again, the camera will never be outside, so we just need that. We will need this. This is all merged together, so might as well copy all of it. And we will not have a door. So back to Derelict Estate, first floor. First floor plus loft. Like the loft wouldn't be considered a second floor, right? Like this, like if we're looking at the PS4 capture, like this wouldn't be considered a second floor. This is just a loft, right? Would that be considered a second floor? Who knows? Okay, so just for the sake of my own sanity, we'll keep the area in the same location. So we'll just move the assets here. We'll move the level loader and the player start here instead of moving the worlds to where 0, 0 is. 0, 0, 0 is. That's pretty good though. So first off, let us kill all. Oh, I forgot the walls. Oh well. Let's just kill all lighting. Let's not worry about lighting right now until we're finished. Cool. Okay. Alrighty. So here's the dark house level. And you can look up here and see the bridge. Although, yeah, you can look. Is my mouse showing? My mouse isn't showing. Let me turn the mouse on. Cool, cool, cool. So ignore this dark part, but you can see here, past the fence, this is all black. You should be able to see content. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out later. This is mostly just secondary stuff. Although that's a problem. You will exit and enter at different points on the stairs. So let's line that up. It's really important to get all that stuff lined up so it doesn't feel weird. Immersion breaking, right? Hurry up and load. Okay, so the spawn point's in the ground. Let's fix that. That was like up here, right? Up here somewhere. Yeah, so we go up here, we fade up, and we're in the same spot, so that's good. Now the same won't happen in the dark house. But we'll see. I might put a door here after all. We'll see what happens. Well, let's copy these walls. And, of course, we'll put the level title in here as well. Once again, let's just get rid of all the lighting. General. Also, are you hearing game audio? Like when I'm playing, are you hearing Bloodborne PSX audio? I'm not getting it. Also, let me know if what I'm doing right now is changing any of the volume stuff. So I really want to get audio coming through. There we go. Let me know if any of the volume sliders just changed. No audio. Okay. Where was I? Right. So you want to do the level title trigger. And it's going to be called the Derelict Estate. Did I spell that correctly? We'll find out, I'm sure. Once I start posting, everyone will be like, you named it wrong. It's a typo. We all know social media comments are quick to point out any typos. But that's good. Okay, it's good. So let us get to the actual fun bits now. the actual level design. First off, the wood beams are facing the other direction. And now our two instances of that entrance is officially out of sync, but we'll fix it later. So let's just focus on getting the base level set up first before we do the details. You know, like the bookshelves and the barrels. There's a lot of barrels in the Derelict Estate for some reason. But we will do a different wall. We'll do the cement wall, or whatever you call this. Would that be plaster? I'm not sure. Like, what would you think that is, chat? Is that cement? That's cement, right? Like cement over the bricks? That's not plaster. That's totally cement. Like, does plaster exist in the Bloodborne universe? Is that too advanced? I don't know the history of plaster. It actually, sorry. Caffrey says it actually loads a new scene. That's cool. I figured you fixed loading. It's good to be consistent. Like doing it the correct way will lead you to running into similar problems and coming up with similar solutions to actual PS1 games. So I feel like doing it the correct way, in air quotes, is better. But first off, let's get rid of all this exterior stuff. We don't need any of this. The camera will never be outside, so we'll never see any of this stuff. But yeah, I do fake the loading time, which you can turn off, and I do have turned off right now. As you can see, it just dips to black and then dips up again. But yeah, it's good to do it. It's good to do it legitimately, to a point. Obviously, if it becomes just a huge time sink, at that point, I'd rather just do it unrealistically, in air quotes. Okay. So let's take a look again at. So this is a straight ceiling. That's the different ceiling of the Hunter's Dream ceiling. If I really wanted to, I could probably create that texture. We do it, chat. Should we make this texture? Would that be more accurate? I kind of just want to do the Hunter's Dream ceiling, or the Hunter's workshop ceiling. I also really like this. I'm not going to worry too much about it. We'll just use the Hunter's Dream ceiling. That's the whole point of extending this, is that it would be easier to create because there's less unique assets I need to make. This is a very weird width. These don't line up with the grid at all. Very strange. But we'll make it work. Sigh. Chat's saying we should make the texture, so let's go ahead and do it. If making an entertaining stream is important. Sure, why not? So obviously we're going to start with the wood under the trim, and then we're going to add the trim. I'll probably just steal the trim from the stone ceiling. Let's just start with that texture, actually. Let me just open it off screen so I'm not sharing any memes on accident. Name assets, environment, enter screen, HTML. Okay, so here is the Puncher's Dream ceiling texture. So we're just going to modify this, right? We're also going to open the generic wood. Oops, this is not organized too well. Wood. Where's my wood floor? Interesting. Oh, this is one of the first textures I made. The original one was one of the first textures I made. And then I updated it, but I saved it in the same spot. So this is a really bad place, but yeah. So this texture is 64, I believe. 128, that's pretty high. So we're gonna do a 64. Actually we might do a 32. Let's do a 32. No, let's do a 64. Let's do a 32. Let's do a 64. Let's do a 64. 64, calling it 64. Can't make up my mind. Environment, mainstream. For the ceiling source. Okay, so we're gonna save this in a new folder. We're not gonna be, it's gonna be a very small folder, but let's do it anyways. Unique assets to Derelict Estate. DE ceiling. And then we're gonna throw the wood in here. I'm gonna put the size in half. That's basically it. Let me just do that. Like that, rather. Put a little knob in the middle, color them brown. Merge these. Creating textures is so easy. Yeah, it's very, very easy. Very easy process. And I'm just going to recycle this. Recycle this. Okay. And then both of you will go under like that. This would be on both sides, right? Yeah, okay, so like that. Pretty close. Let's combine these. These are too thick. So I'm gonna contract by one. Same for you. Oops, wrong one. That's better. So there's more room for the wood to show up. The question is, in the original, it's very saturated, but I'm pretty sure that's just because of the torch. Also, these are just the wrong colors. So let's just -11, a little more saturation. Not too much. No. -11, -7, -12. Merge, merge, merge. Okay, this will be. So it's kind of brassy. Okay, and then we need to do like the modules. I like read flower things. I don't think there's just enough detail for that. But let's get it big. See how that looks. And then we turn it into PS1 mode. So we turn filtering off and turn off MIP mapping. And let's do better compression. It looks a little more accurate. Compression on modern games is a little more extreme because the textures are crunched smaller. At least from what I've noticed, that's just a guess, you know. Um, and window ceiling. And it's tiled by 3. Okay. So yeah, definitely a good thing we chose 64. Might have even wanted to have done 32. This is very dense. But no, if we have a 128, this isn't too bad. Textures don't mirror though. Where's pattern preview again? In view. I forget, here it is. Yeah. I know. Okay. Yes. So let's get to actually fixing this now. Go away. Pretty decent. All of these we just need to. Cool. Shift that over to 1. Okay. That's pretty decent. And as we can see, the middle knob is a little bit smaller than the corner ones, which is true on the PS4 version as well. Alrighty, so I'm probably just gonna make these no like ornamental detail on the knob. We're just gonna do a straight up like spear kind of shading. I'm not gonna just literally just do spear shading. Let's do this, you know. Like there we go. I guess it'd be the opposite, huh? First up, let's just make that new. Come on. 1 pixel. There we go. Okay, so excuse me. Merge down, invert. Cool. Let's do a tiny bit of detail. So that would be pencil percentage, a little less. It's a little better. Alrighty. Then we can do flat cross. Okay. And then let's do actual color now. Another thing, actually, this is interesting. Something I learned that's pretty good for Bloodborne is one second. Okay, so first we're going to put a drop shadow. Is a bit doesn't really hold up too well, in my opinion, on low poly or very low resolution images. So I tend to do a stroke actually. Stroke's a little more closer to what I want. That's the one. Can have stand it out a little bit so it doesn't blend in so much. Yeah, okay. So one thing I noticed, which is really good for Bloodborne PSX's style, well, what it, I didn't really, we kind of just, I'm so sorry. In suspense, what has she learned that is good for Bloodborne? It's that it's really good to just, the style that this game kind of emerged from this game in the process of down-resing it is that it's very noisy. So I like just adding straight up noise. And it really breaks up the like perfect clear, it makes it kind of grungy. It's not really something I would do if I was making my own PS1 art style, but it really fits Bloodborne, adding a little bit of noise to everything. You can even see it added noise like to these beams here. Noisy, so I kind of, I don't know, I like it. Cool. So let us check that out. And there's our ceiling. Let us make the shadows a little more intense because the wood is pretty inset and this looks very much not. So let's increase that a little bit. That's a bit too much. This one might actually benefit from a drop shadow. The drop shadow has a feather like that. Yeah, so that really makes it feel like it's deep in there. Cool. Yeah, it looks really good in the PSX shading with like the high contrast. But the knobs are a bit too bright. So there we go. Thank you for pushing me to do this, chat. I was really focused on dropping meshes down. But that looks good. I like that. You'll probably never see it because it's the ceiling. But hey, chat knows it's here, and so do I. And we won't do two-sided. Do one-sided texture. And hey, it keeps the ceiling nice and square. That's, I don't know, it's too dense. The pixel density is way too dense. Like look at this discrepancy here. Yeah, it's way too dense. Luckily we can nip it in post, so it won't be non-destructive. 32 awful. Oh, that's too low though. That's the problem. Yo. Yeah, so someone suggested just lowering the texture size, so it won't be accurate to chunks of 3, as it is that you can see in the PS3 version or PS4 version. But who cares? Who cares? Okay, it's better anyways. So it's also too bright. And that just goes all the way across, huh? Like there's nothing unique about the ceiling. It just clips in the wall here. Actually, no, I just line up pretty well. But yeah, just clips in the wall. Okay, I do like those windows. Zan with a plan says hello. Hello, Zan with the plant. How are you doing this fine day? Right. That ceiling seems too high. Yeah, so let's. Zan with the plant says we're sipping iced tea. How are you doing? Doing pretty good. Decent ways into this stream. Switch these. We'll do I have a trim asset just for this stone trim, just for this problem. We need just a little bit of height, but not an entire wall's worth of height, right? That's good. I like that. That was good. I can live with that. I want to say, first off, this is too wide. This house is too wide. So let's knock a wall out. I don't know why these are not the correct size. That's really bothering me. Oh my gosh. I know exactly why. They are the correct size. The floor is too small. It's a 0.8 size. Oh, that makes so much more sense. There we go. What was... Goodness. It's really messing me up. That's why the pixel density was too high as well. Everything's up 80% size. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay. That is so much better. Okay. We could probably go back to a 3 tile, but I don't. Shit. There we go. It's nice when everything just lines up. Don't have much to say here. Just kind of make it, grouping these together into modular pieces so we can just do that. Okay. Derelict Estate, let's go. This seems to be about the right size. I'm not like like I said, I'm not a perfectionist. I just kind of eyeball it, see how it works, see how it looks. And I'm okay if the sizes don't line up. I do like how that Hunter's Dream is a lot larger in Bloodborne PSX than for it just feels more PS1y, you know? It's all about that vibe. Um yeah, this is good. We do need, do I have wooden banisters yet? I'm not sure if I have wooden banisters. It might be something I need to make. Hmm. So we have, yeah, so Hunter's Dream interior. We have these and the big ones. I don't think we have a wooden banister, which would really just be the stone ones, but texture tinted. Let's see. Let's just do static mesh of the whole repository. Take a look. The whole catalog, 126 items. I don't think so. So yeah, we have the stone ones. Um, and I would say that the wooden ones would just be, okay, so you have the ones with the wooden top. Hmm. Do I have a wooden railing? Oh, I do. Okay, perfect. So we have a wooden version. It's a bit dark. Make it a little bit brighter. All right, cool. So we do have a wooden version. Perfect. So let's just brighten this a little bit. That's too dark. Um, I like that. That looks good. And obviously going through those here. Perfect. Perfect. Glad I had that figured out. Um, so this is higher poly. So we'd probably save this for important areas, probably like where the stairs are. But this is super low poly, so this will be where we'll use for a general location. Now let's see how wide this is. This is pretty lengthy. Let's just close this off. Um, and the stair. Oh, excuse me. That would be a probably a half. This goes all the way to the entrance as well. So first off, around the corner. Let's see how this looks. That's pretty good. I like that. That looks pretty solid. Pretty PS1-y, right? We'll merge the edges together so they don't just yeah, you don't want it to look too bad in air quotes. PS1 is not the lowest end of 3D graphics. There are more rudimentary graphics in the PS1. So you don't want to go too far. You don't want it to look too simplistic, right? Let's get things. Let's push this one further. Here. And this goes for a little while. That's probably good. There's a gap here. Let me fill it in. Figure that later. Fit one more. Alrighty, this goes here. And then we do the staircase. So this will probably just shift over that. The stairs, I don't know if I have wooden stairs. So we shall find out. Let's do 0.5. I might also just keep it stone because I don't care enough about it. Here. This needs to be two-sided, doesn't it? Yeah, it sure does. Okie dokie. Let's just do this. Oops. We're gonna go through a painstaking process of getting that filled in with a single banister. Actually, you know what? No. We have one. We have a single right here. There we go. Perfect. Cool. I made something just for this kind of situation. So that's nice. I can get that working. Okay, cool. And then probably the same for here. They're just cubes, so luckily they're not terribly high resolution. Okay, so let's see if we have a wooden version of stairs. Stairs desaturated. All right, let's just make some wooden stairs. Oh gosh, I did not organize this in any way, did I? Okay. Wooden stairs, voila. Let's name it stairs 2. Okay, stairs 2, here we are. Too dark. Nope. There we go, perfect. And then we have a stair fence. I want to say we have a better one that uses the banisters. I think it's in the clinic. Yeah, stair railing. So this is the higher poly one I was talking about. Perfect. Unfortunately, the banister railing, like where you rest your hand, like you put your hand on while you go down the railing, is a different texture. I don't think I could fix that without editing the model. So that's a bit unfortunate, but we'll live. It's also not the right height either. Let's see how that feels. But let's continue designing the level. With our beautiful stair texture. Also, let's get rid of these. You don't need these. All right, so there's our stairs. Beautiful stairs. Look at that. Those are some heckin' stairs. And let me save so we have the torch on at all times. Let me just cheat my way into the hunter's dream and then save. Actually, no, let's buy some vials too. It's for the test we have no vials. Okay. Good. Okay, so let's save. Oops. Okay, cool. Storage zone, get some vials. Good. Okay, so let's keep going. First things first, let us just round this off. That'll be half. And then we'll half it again. 0.4. I like how that ceiling turned out. I still think it's too high quality. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. And then we do the wood ceiling. Actually, let's see if the wood ceiling is just wood panels or is it the actual ceiling that we just created. It is the actual ceiling. Okay. Ain't no thing. Level design. Level design. You know, I love me some level design. Okay. Then, of course, we do the floor. If I could see, that would be great. Okay, unfortunately, the wall is not the correct height, but we'll fix that. Oh, come on. There we go. So please lower this. We put another trim here. Just lower it by 0.7. Points. That works. Okay, cool. Thought we got that figured out. Now let's see if the trim uses the correct texture. Okay, it does, but it looks super ugly. But there's really not much else I can do. So we'll just cover the ugly up with assets. It's not too big a deal. Let's do this. So we could have some trim here. Okay, pretty good. So let's fix the bounds problem. So we don't get any of that weird flickering. Alrighty. So this wall looks bad, but we can take steps to fix that. Using the oldest level design trick in the book, which is just cover up your bad design with props. And there you go. That ugly seam is now no more. Almost no more. Alrighty. And there we go. Problem solved. Anyways, right. So back to the Hunter's Dream assets. The Hunter's Dream beam. Right. So we have one also too small. So let's make them a little bit larger. Julio. And it goes how many across? 1, 2, 3, 4-ish. Okay, we'll do that. So how's everyone in chat doing? You all having a good time so far? Don't need this. That all lined up, didn't it? This is okay. Let's see, this goes a little bit further. Everything's chill, says Hoot Nebula. And Kathy says, late may fall asleep. May fall asleep whenever you want. Good stream to fall asleep to. Wouldn't call myself extremely entertaining, so there you go, it's perfect. Just line this up by eyeballing it, which I do not like to do. But you gotta. This is one too far. Okay, let me fill a bit off. Okay, cool. It's there, and then we can just, I guess, put this here with this. Let's squish it even further. This is too squished. I mean, is it too squished though? Well, first off, the collision's too fat. Let's fix that. 25. Negative, be 12.5. Negative 12.5. Okay. Much better. Still too wide, so let's do 0.1. Nope. On 1. There we go. Oh, excuse me. A little weird, but I'm not too fussed about it. Okay. Oh, what's happening here? Oh, you're too tall. Got it. Okay, so I think that's everything. You can there's a gap a little bit here, so let's just lightly nudge this over. Not that much. And same here, lightly nudge over. Cool. Okay. I like that. Well, that's too far. It's too wide. Okay, that makes more sense. Like, that doesn't feel right. This whole thing's too wide, isn't it? Vanta is asking, until what boss will be BBPSX include? Just Gascoigne. Kind of like Beast and Gascoigne. We only got, we don't have that much time left. I decided to do this for a year. Um, this development cycle for this game will be a year. And I don't want to. We're starting to get uncomfortably close to a year. So there's a couple months left. So I really don't want to push myself. At least like a whole new level. With the Central Yharnam, the Cathedral Ward. So I'm going to see if I can make a little more interesting content with requiring you to backtrack through Central Yharnam with a unique modifier. And that'll be like the end game. We'll see. I might just cut that as well, and the game just says demo over, or we're finished. Goodbye. But yeah, just the first two bosses, because the game really, really opens up after you beat Father Gascoigne. So that feels like a good place to end it. Excuse me. Okay, this seems good. I'll probably, after I finish this room, I'll end the stream. I don't want to stream for too long. So let's just close this room off, put some props in, and then obviously just do the lighting, which will be very easy. Everything will be at 10% brightness evenly. Maybe like 15% or 20%. So if you stare at the screen close enough, you can do it without needing the torch. But yeah. Okay, so we have our doorway. Door frame single. This is not really accurate, but this is just built for the door frame, and I don't really want to bother. Um, well, let's see. Let's see. Let's see what we can use here. That that works? Question mark. That sure doesn't. I might just do that. Honestly, that's not bad. The pixel density is off. I mean, it's off everywhere, but that 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 just might work. Yeah, that works. That totally works. Okay, sick. Okay, so the ceiling goes for one more. Same for y'all. This is nice. This is Perfect. Cool. I like this. This is good. I'm feeling good about this. Let me fill this gap in. Mr. Square Peg, hello. How's it going? One second. What is going on here? Okay, torch lighting is nice. Gives the wood a warm yellowy glow as you run by. It does! And it'll look even better once we darken this. It's at 100% brightness evenly. And we're going to do, 10% brightness evenly. But let's put some doors in here. The door asset outside of any of the characters, is probably the most complicated actor I've made. So this won't be. These aren't locked. These are one-way doors. Right? Are these one-way doors? These might just be open doors. I forget if these are one-way doors or not. I don't remember. I guess there's one way to find out. But yeah, you totally can close them. I know that much. I don't think these are. There's one easy way to find out. Yeah. Japan's video from software. Most recent, G. We have so many profiles. I've started this game many times over the past year. Let's switch over to capture card. All right. Well, while we're doing the speed run, can we skip the wolf? You totally can skip the wolf. Yeah, I was not even a door here. I'm silly. Oh, ah, this game is pretty. Okay, so let's do a speed run, I guess. Alrighty, let's see if we can get past everyone. Okay, so is this door locked from this side? If not, then we know it is an unlocked door. This is just a straight up unlocked door. I want to say these are the only like just unlocked doors in the whole game from this house. There it is. Like you can open it, you can close it. There's no modifiers to this door. It doesn't need a key. It's not one way. You know all that. Now is this door locked? Nope. This is just an unlocked door. Okay, so they're both just unlocked doors. Oh gosh. Oh well. Okay, but we have learned that these are just unlocked doors. So okay. Ironic because most of them lock themselves inside their homes. Absolutely. I forget how to get rid of the ads. Love this cutscene. I think the first door you open from the house, yeah, locked. Yeah, the first door is locked from inside, um, for sure. It's locked from inside and then closes behind you, right? Anyways, back to screen plus capture card. Okay, that's good. Good to know. I always, for some reason, I always assume those are single way doors. So yeah, those are just unlocked. But yeah, there's no point for them to be single way because all you need is that gate to the left of the Central Yharnam lantern to be one way. That's all you need. So makes sense. Anyways, okay, so here's our room. Let us get back to the dark house. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so let us do the clutter. The clutter and the details. It's pretty simple. We should have all of these already. Um, or at least equivalents. We'll make it recognizable enough. Once again, it won't stand up to a side by side, but just if someone's played the game enough and kind of have the early game memorized, the layout and the general look, it will still look familiar to them, and that's all that matters. Going past that's too far, I would say, in terms of the effort put in versus the results of having people go in side by side and go, wow, they look identical. Like it's not worth it in my opinion. So these are all looking the same. We have barrel stack. Let me make a barrel stack because we have destructibles all in here. So we have like a single barrel. We have a case. Very simple. They just delete themselves when you hit them with a particle effect. You know, coffin. Um, book pile. That's for obviously for the hunter's dream, right? But you hit them and they break. So I'm going to make, but yeah, as you can see, I have a cluster of suitcases and a single suitcase. Um, And as you can see, it's like lower poly, like the suitcase cluster. Like this is a cube. These two right here are cubes. There's a single cube. And the rest don't have bottoms, or they shouldn't anyways. So we're gonna do something similar. We're gonna do a barrel cluster or pile stack. They're exactly the same, but just three of them. The door, when you spawn, sorry, Jan351 says, what do you mean the door locks behind you? It stays open once opened, right? The very first door you open after you wake up. After you wake up, and the first time you die, the game changes slightly. First one is the lantern is no longer invisible. And secondly, it closes a door behind you and spawns Yosefka. And that door is locked, so you speak to Yosefka through the door. And it spawns the Canehurst summons on your operating table. Those are the big changes that happened after your first death. And I don't think those will ever happen until you die or go to the Hunter's Dream for the first time, I believe. That will trigger the world state change. If I remember correctly, of course. Okay, so here's our barrel pile. Make it a little bit bigger too. Also, the color, this wood is a bit too saturated compared to all the other wood in the game. It sticks out, so let's just fix that while we're here. It's too purple. Yeah, it's purple. So let's fix that. So let's go to barrel. Is barrel in here? Can we fix it here, actually? There we go, perfect. That's so much better. Those barrels blend in a lot more now. Okay, so right here, we have case pile there. Let me see if I line this up vaguely correct. It's too close, so I should go that over. Let's make sure we can break this too. Cool. Okay. And what else? We have single cases. I don't have an open suitcase. I should probably make that at some point. But we have single suitcases and like lockers and stuff. I think it's a suitcase, not a locker, so let's put that down. This thing here, I never noticed until right now. But these weird like stands that are made for coffins, very weird. I have neither the stand nor this type of metal coffin. So I'm just not gonna bother. We're just gonna put our favorites. Yeah, so there's two metal coffins. There's this one, and then there's the one that's chained and locked up. And that's like the one everyone remembers. So I went ahead and made that one. I can't remake every single asset. You're gonna have to make cuts. Because Bloodborne has a lot of assets. Probably less than you'd think, but it's still a lot, and it would still be more than a PS1 game in my, in terms of my estimations. I don't have any hard numbers to like back that up or anything. It's just guessing, but so that'll be fine. And then we have the clinic bench. This one, house bench. Cool. And then to the left of that, yeah, okay. So we got second bench, and then we have the pile of stuff that the person hide behind, the Yharnamites. The huntsman hides behind. And what appears to be like a tiny barrel stock. So we don't have tiny barrel stack, so we're just going to do another shelf. Okay, then we have a destructible. Again, the rest of this is just destructible stuff. So 2 triple stack barrels. Okay, we got the a little more like that. And then we have the coffin that leans up against it. Cool, I figured out the moderation tools. I banned the advertisement. Okay, here we go. Perfect. 2 stacks, double stack. This goes here like this. So I'm still figuring out mod view. Okay. And I did break some here while I killed everyone, but I'm thinking that's a different. I think it's 2 barrels like this, one here and like one here. And then of course we got the bags. That's the Yharnam. This is indestructible. So this is just a static mesh we plop down bags. And the barrel is okay. So the barrel's not on top like I thought. Look at that. There's a Yharnamite here. And there's another huntsman right here and one more here. I don't have animations for these enemies yet. We don't have a nav mesh either. And then there's a huntsman down here. I remember this huntsman. This huntsman is the one with the saber. And then I haven't made the wheelchair enemies yet. So I'll need to do that. Really make sure those enemies get in. Okay. So that's all for the top floor. Oh, there appears to be. It will need to be perfect, but there is a suitcase here. And another suitcase here. As big as a box, which is a cube. Scale down. It's a cube with a wood texture on it. It's good for filler. Good for filler destructibles. You know, you got like a bunch of destructibles, or you just need like 1 or 2 more to fill it out, but you're out of meshes. Good to just throw a wooden cube in there. Okay. Red Camo says, hi. Hello there. How's it going? Okay, so now let's check out the bottom floor. Oh, we forgot these. And we got the corner bags here. Okay, let's do these first. So that's just 2 barrels and a corner bag. Okay. And then, yeah, these are all just small bags. We have big bags and small bags. We'll do 2 small bags to make it a medium bag. There we go. Sick. Okay. Okay, now I can go downstairs. Oh, you know what? I need to fill in this gap wall over here. If I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. So we have a gap right here that just looks through the wall. So that's should be easy. Just pull this over. And we'll just do this. Okay. Okay, so let's go downstairs. All right, this is pretty easy. This wall here. Yeah. First off, we have you here. Once again, we don't have the wide ones. We just stack two narrows together. And then we have the house bench here. And then when we go over to destructibles, where we should go in general, there we go. We have our barrel stack. Then we have our case pile. So Blueboard has a bunch of different case piles. I do think they're a single destructible asset, and not, like 10 destructible assets stacked together. I do think they do the same thing like I'm doing. I mean, I have no evidence to support that, but it's just a theory. That seems more efficient. Okay, we have a little bag stack right here. I'm okay with flipping it like that. This looks like a small bag and a long bag. Although this could be shifted over a little bit. Like that. That looks, yeah, that looks better, but it's just looks like a small bag and a big bag, I would say. And then looks like there's a single barrel here that's larger and on its side, just like the stack. And then a single barrel here. That's the same size. Okay. Yeah, and that's it for that. Let us put, that looks pretty decent. Let's put that in the corner. Oh, our favorite decal problem. So yeah, so this is the wooden box, right? This is just more detailed than what I did. Mine's just like literally a cube. This is probably not detailed enough for a PS1 game, but whatever. How long do you take? Sorry, Ren Camo asks, how long did it take you to get used to Unreal Engine tools? Difficult question. It was definitely a process. It did take me time to get fluent. But to where I am now is, wow, it's difficult to answer. But I would say like to be fluent enough, you kind of experiment, do things you probably wouldn't, and then you don't do things that you probably should have learned, and then you learn that way later, even though you still would have called yourself proficient. So let's say like a year, and you just gotta make stuff. Um, and just make like little test projects to just flex your brain. Um, so you just do a bunch of different things, make a cutscene to get used to a sequencer and brush up on how modular assets are created and then model those assets, learning the process before making the assets. Those are two different things. So yeah, I'd say it's difficult to put a number down, but I'd say like a year. Um, and there's a million tutorials online, so don't feel intimidated. Just do it one thing at a time. We've got a barrel here. Then yeah, so there's like the split open barrel with dirt, which has never been shaded correctly. Like it's always the wrong shade, and it always looks weird. Compared to the rest of the assets, I wonder what's wrong with the open, broken, dirty barrel. What's cool about the dirty barrel is if you break it, it'll leave behind the dirt. It's like a static mesh. You can kind of see it. There's like the dirt in the barrel, and then there's the dirt on the floor as a separate mesh that's like clipping into the ground. I always found that super fascinating. Anyways, so back to doing this. We have this here to hide the fact that it looks bad. But we got this barrel, which will just put here. that. And then we have another coffin. Well, it'll be another coffin for us. Just lean it against this wall. Cool. And then we have our bags. Okay. Oh, excuse me. We have to go to your dude. Okay, so I'm gonna call this big bags. Finally, we found some big bags. But first, we have to get a better view. Okay. So we did that. We have one of these. Two of them. Then we have another one of those mysterious coffin holders, complete with coffins, which we don't have. So we're just kind of lean two coffins up against the wall. With our big bags, our big bag model. Keep going to the left. And that's it. So more of these. With a gap. So let's push this a little bit further. Once again, I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not too fussed about it not being 100% accurate. This is floating a little bit, aren't they? Shoot. Glad I caught that. Why are you all floating? What's up with you? What's your deal? Okay. Cool. So we go there, there. Another house chair, house bench. And then this one, which actually this is different from what I remember, but we're gonna make it a little more. We have an identical one in. Oh, this is all way too wide. So, I feel like I messed something up. Not really. Just make this narrower. Yeah. Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, cool. Okay, that's better. Okay, so I got this. So, I'm just gonna copy this from the Seek Pale Blood to Transcend the Hunt paper. I would like to unify this under with factor. So you know what? I'm not gonna place the paper yet, but I'm gonna place a spot for it. So here's the secret. There you go. Beautiful two-step cupboard. Just line the textures up. Looks fine. I mean, it doesn't look perfect, but it looks fine. Okay. I would say that's good. But yeah, we're almost done here. So I think that's everything. Yeah, that looks decent. Oh, there's no navigation mesh. We'll do that. Yeah, so we'll drop a nav mesh down. The AI knows how to navigate. Bounds. Perfect. Okay. So let's try this. See what happens. We'll just do Control A, and then do 0.15, and then paint bucket. See what happens. Wow, that works surprisingly well. Okay, sick. So that's a dark house. Oh, I love this. But we need to set the, first off, the character should not be vertex colored. That goes against my fake rules. I don't think you could vertex color dynamic actors on the PS1 game. So that's what this is for. Level default tint. We'll just tint all characters this color for this level specifically. Cool. Okay, so we did it the right way. I like this. This looks good. But one thing that sticks out is the blood pool. So let's have the blood pool from the enemies inherit the tint, the global tint. Because as you can see, very dark, but those blood pools just stick out. So let's modify that. That is a universal function, so we fix it once and it'll be fixed everywhere. Let's also, fix their walk speed. Cut their speed in half for capture purposes. But yeah, so death. 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 Dead. We should have spawn. It should be a universal function. Where are you? Where are you? Is it hands of arm? Okay, yes, fine. Okay, so spawn blood pool at location. Blood pool's an actor. So begin play. Get the default level tints. Get static mesh. Sets. Material. Set vector parameter on materials. Let's open it up, and I believe that will be PSX particle. Local tint. Yes. Okay, so local tints. And set it to the level default tint, which is 0.15. So it'll multiply by 0.15. So hopefully, now this is all done, the blood will be the correct color of the characters, which should be true anyways. Like, let's just say you're doing a, let's just say for some, if I was better at lighting, I would make the sewers greenish. They're not. It's a solid dark like this, but less 0.5 instead of 0.15. But it would make the blood pool kind of greenish too. Doesn't look like it's working though. That still stands out, so something's not working. Let us debug. Hmm. Let's not do PSX particle, let's do PSX parent. PSX particle has less exposed than PSX parent. PSX parent is where most of the game is built off of. Put it on the ground, so. There we go. Nice dark blood pool. Okay, that blends in. Yeah, the particles don't tint. That's fine. All right. So I'm gonna call it here. I think this is pretty good. Pretty good dark house level. Let's see if we can exit and enter. That bad guy spooked me. Covered the whole screen. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger, but I'm cool with that. All right. So yeah, that'll be it for today's stream. I will then update this. I'll update the Twitter thread, and yeah, that'll be it for today. And thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Once again, really sorry that the camera didn't show up. But I guess what matters is the mic and the PC screen capture and the game capture, and those all work flawlessly, so that's fine. Um, but yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for hanging out. Zan says thanks for sharing. Happy to share. Um, so yeah, I will see you all next stream. It's been a sec, but I'll see if I can make it a little more frequent this time. Now that everything's been set up at my at the new apartment that I moved in, so I hope I can get the camera working next time. So yeah, I'll see you all, and you have a good rest of your day.